This video is about the key concepts of entering in trainings into our website. As you can tell from our YouTube channel, I have different videos based on the type of training. And it all comes down to each are handled differently, but I figured a video to describe why and how might be quite useful. For this, I'm going to go ahead and have an old duplicate of a basic child development, including supervision training up. So that way I can talk about the key concepts for each type of training. Every single training that we put on here will always have the description. This description is found in Salesforce. Also, every single one will have all this confusing language here. From, I don't know why it's not highlighting, from here all the way to here. What this does is it creates a button to remind people to log in to get a discounted rate if they are a member. So we make sure that that is included on all trainings. And then if it's Kickstart, we have some additional information to talk about the Kickstart training program. And then once again, that same thing that I had before, I duplicate underneath this description about Kickstarts and the logo. Only needs to be once on most trainings, but because we have additional information about our Kickstarts, that's why we put it again at the bottom. So let's talk about the event categories over here. As you know, with each video, it's different. We can separate this a little bit. So all of our events are under first the category of either in person or virtual. One of those two must be selected, depending on how it's taught. The second part is we always will click providers. And then the third part for now is which one of these top three, health and safety approved, initial provider training, or Kickstart, do we check. If it is a full Kickstart, meaning it is the full 8 hours, we click Kickstart. That's the only time we ever do. I don't care if it's part of a Kickstart program. We're not checking that unless it is the full Monty, the full Kickstart 101 or full Kickstart 102. Under any of the trainings that fall under Kickstart, your basic child development, your safe slumber, your child abuse, your medication administration, those specific trainings will, instead of having Kickstart, have initial provider training, meaning those are those individual trainings they need to get their license. All others, every single other training will not have either of those checked, but will have the health and safety approved. So let me go over that real quick. Each training will either have in-person or virtual checked. Every training will have providers checked. And then under providers, if it's not a Kickstart or one of those that fall under it, it'll have health and safety. If it is a full Kickstart, it'll have Kickstart. And if it's one of the individual trainings within a Kickstart, it won't have Kickstart. Instead, it'll have initial provider training. That may not be so clear, but after a while, if you really peruse the website, it'll start to make sense. Because if you go to the website and choose initial provider trainings, it'll just list each of these individually. If you click on the website and say Kickstart, it'll only do that full day training. And then if someone clicks health and safety approved, they're probably looking for those other classes that they've not attended before. And so let's scroll a little bit down. Obviously, the start end date is always going to be the same. The venue is going to change. If it's a virtual event, we're choosing virtual event. If it's in person, we're going to select the location. In most cases, that's going to be ChildStart. If it's a virtual event, we are going to go ahead and put the URL in there. And then we're also going to do more when we do the tickets. If it's the ChildStart location, we don't have to do anything with the website. Finally, under tickets, Our ticket types are always going to be the title of the class, along with the date, no matter what. The description will change. If it is a virtual event, you're going to want to copy and paste from a virtual event from October on or after October 1st of 2022, and then update the URL and password for your event. If it's an in-person event, in the description, put in-person event, and we really don't have any specific text that you have to put in there. The start sale will always be a day before, or at least a day before you have entered this. I typically go to the first of the month because it's easier. The end sale will always be the day of the class at noon, unless it's a Saturday. Then it'll be the day before at noon. So if it's a Saturday class, it'll be that Friday at noon. The price, it really depends on the class. In most cases, it's if it's a 2-hour class, it's going to be $20. If it's a Kickstart, it's going to be $75. We put in the full price here. We do the discounts later on when we edit the product. Capacity, some events will have different capacities. We use that number, otherwise we just put 50. And in all circumstances, we click attendee information and choose attendee names. We then save the ticket. I'm gonna hit cancel, get out of here because I'm not ready to work on this one. And then either after we enter in all the trainings or one by one, depending on your time, you always go to products. I'm going to leave this. And if we don't see a category here, there's something wrong. We always use our quick edit. If it is a Kickstart, we will use a member discount of 30. If it is another training that has a discount, then we'll use, that's 2 hours, we use member discount 8. We ever have trainings that fall under different parameters, you can always get with me. It may mean that there is no member discount, or maybe it's a different rate than what we've had in the past, and we will negotiate that and try to get to work later on. But that's all the main details about entering in trainings. You can always watch the standard videos for the specific type of training you're entering, but otherwise you should have all the details to enter in a training from scratch. All right. If you've watched this, leave a comment. If you have any questions, comment that as well. Thanks.